Welcome to episode 5 of What Happened to Summer Wells. We will discuss a new theory.
Given the factor is that if you use his cell phone and triangulate where his phone was that at the time Summer went missing, it will show he was in Kingsport at the ball field, right down the road from his house. He was at the ball field right down the road from his house with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's mother. I have trackers on all my kids' phones. And I know exactly where his phone sits now, even though it's off.
Hunter never got his phone back. It was kept by the TBI as evidence because obviously they found something in his phone related to Summer's case. We're going to listen as Andrew tells us a little more information about that phone.
PG, I'm not going to lie to you, honey. They kept this phone for reasons outside of the case. In all honesty, okay? You want to know why they kept this phone as long as they did is for reasons outside of the case. The boy got mixed up with some bad people. And a few of who he got mixed up with aren't exactly good characters, if you know what I mean.
First of all, they do not keep phones for anything outside of the case that they are investigating. They kept Hunter's phone because they found information or data in that phone that led them to believe it would be evidence in what happened to Summer. That is why they kept that phone. So Andrew just told us that they kept Hunter's phone because he got messed up with some very bad people. So keep listening because Andrew is going to tell us a little bit more about those people and the phone.
What I'm trying to tell you, it is a separate case.
And the phone would have been transferred over to that case.
And that's why he still hasn't had it to this day. He calls me from a whole different phone and number.
If that case would have been, and once that case was settled, he would get the phone back. He would get
it back. Yes, you are correct. That is true. But here's the thing: that case ain't settled. Let's just say my son got caught up with some very bad people, and it's not good. And it's the type of crap that no parent wants to see their son hooked up with.
Don B. and Doug at No Thanks also joined Prayer Garden's panel to talk to Andrew regarding Hunter's phone.
Andrew, I got a question for you. You said Hunter was at the ballpark in Kingsport.
Yes, right. From my understanding, he was at the ballpark right down the road from his house with his girlfriend and her mother.
Okay, but he told Chris he was at a ballpark in Bristol, Tennessee or Virginia with his girlfriend.
That's the thing, is that it all comes down to he was at a ballpark, but the only people that would actually know where he was is law enforcement because they can triangulate where his phone was. So all we have is multiple stories from a child on where exactly he was, and the thing is, it always comes down to a ballpark, whether it be in Bristol or whether it be down the road. That I will agree on. The locations are inconsistent, but at least the only one consistent thing he is still singing is that he was at the ballpark. Because of who he hooked up with, he went down the wrong path, and he has ties to some very evil people, as I'll put it, because I'm not allowed to say a lot about it because we're still going through the whole court garbage. But they probably kept it due to a different case, due to the people he knows. And he owes these people a lot of money, and they're very dirty people. Well, but what I'm saying is that these people are dirty. They're grimy. They don't care who they reach out and touch, as long as they hurt you. And Hunter wound up getting in deep with these people a few months before.
Why?
And I've done some research on these people, and these people are the lowest of low. They'll hit you hard. They'll hit you no matter what, and they don't care if it's a friend's family, your family, or anybody's family. They're going to try to hit you where it hurts the most. All right? Is that the boy owes a hefty amount to certain people. Very dirty. I mean, they make the Hells Angels look beautiful. But he's hiding that aspect because he knows he's screwed up, and he knows his dad's going to bail him out.
Is what Don told me true, Don Wells, that Hunter's charged with pulling a woman out of a car and trying to steal the car and take the car, and there's a baby in the car. Is that true?
Put me in a hard position, bud.
Sorry.
As far as I know, he didn't listen. As far as I know, he did not know there was a child in the car. He was only sent to take the car. And I can't really say much about that. I am sorry. It has to do with current issues. Listen, I think it was all set up somewhere, somehow.
So he hangs out with, so when he did that deed with that lady in the car with that baby he didn't know was in there, he did that with a bunch of girls instead of a bunch of boys?
Actually, what it was is he did it. Okay, I'm going to tell you. I just got to tell you now. What it was is that his sister was dating a affiliated person. Let's put it like that. And Hunter wound up getting affiliated due to that. And then he just started following orders like a simpleton.
So you say Hunter's in a
he
gang?
was told to,
Are you telling me?
you're gonna have to piece that one. I can't say much, bud. I'm trying to, but I really can't.
You don't have to piece much. This is like a 3-piece puzzle. I can put it together. A
Good.
4-piece puzzle makes a hell of a lot more sense, but like I can put it together. You know what I'm saying?
All right. So listen, Drew brought in the problem. Hunter wound up joining the problem and taking orders from somebody else, and was told to collect the car. But Hunter and the two others that were there to help him didn't know there was a baby in the car.
Got it. Okay. Well,
And the woman wasn't, and the child and woman weren't supposed to be at the car at the time they were given.
Well, so obviously they weren't really thought out criminals.
Man.
So why would Hunter do something for these people like that? Do you think that he would? Is that where he gets his drugs from? Because he was up all night the night before Summer went missing, and that's what
he joined up with them for acceptance, attention, to try to get attention, negative attention, but attention nonetheless. And now he wound up in a very, very big hole.
Okay, I want to take a minute just to say that I am not incriminating Hunter in any way in this video. I am only presenting a theory, possibly 2 or 3 theories, all related. But that is what it is, just that, just a theory. So think about this. Okay, it has already been confirmed that Hunter did carjack a vehicle. He did take a car with a child in it. He was found guilty and convicted of that crime and has done probation for it. He may be still on probation, I'm not sure. But we do know that to be true. Now, we have his father associating him with a very bad gang. his father is telling us that Hunter did join a gang and was made to steal that car. My guess would be stealing the car was the initiation process. So would this gang also tell him to kidnap a child for whatever reason? I recently read an article on the internet about gangs who kidnap children and then sell them into, trafficking. In that very same article, it also discussed how in eastern Tennessee, it is a very big problem that families, parents, are selling their children to gangs for the gangs to then turn around and sell that child to traffickers. So Andrew told us that Hunter owed that gang a very large sum of money. So what do you think about, is it possible, would Hunter take Summer and give her to the gang in exchange for the money that he owed that gang? Then possibly the gang sold her to get their money because, of course, they don't want a kid, right? On the other hand, Andrew also told us that he feels like it was a setup from the very beginning. He feels like Hunter was set up and that he was used as a patsy by Don and Candace. So that could be very possible. What do you think about the theory of maybe Candace actually is the one who sold Summer, but she needed to put it, off on someone else. So that's why she got Hunter for the day, and she used the gang that he was a member of to get rid of Summer. And then if it came down to it, she could blame it on him. It would make it look like it was him instead of her. Do you think that's possible? And one last theory related to this gang situation is, do you think it's possible that this gang just kidnapped Summer and that Candace or Hunter had nothing to do with it, but that they just kidnapped Summer? We know that Hunter gets his drugs from them because Andrew told us that. So it could probably be associated too that Candace also gets drugs from them. I would imagine that if Hunter had a good connection, Candace would use it too, right? So maybe Candace owed them money as well. Hunter owed him money. We already know that. We know that from Andrew. And maybe Candace owed him money too. Maybe that's why Candace got so upset and cried when the Cornbread Mafia was mentioned to her. Because even though she didn't know who the Cornbread Mafia was, and the Cornbread Mafia is not in Tennessee, when they mentioned it, it struck so close to the truth that it broke her down. And that could very well be the truth. The truth could be that Candace was getting drugs from this gang and either owed them money, so they kidnapped Summer, or she could have even sold Summer to them for, in exchange for drugs or whatever. But this is just a few theories that come to my mind after I saw these clips of Andrew and just thinking about everything that he said. And I think that between Candace and Hunter, I do believe the truth lies in there somewhere. I am not saying that Hunter's involved. He could have been set up. But we do know that the TBI did keep his phone, and we know that the only reason they keep phones is when they find evidence in them. So just keep this in mind and let me know what you think down below, because I've really grown attached to Summer and I really want to see her found, and I really do spend hours upon hours researching her case and watching Don and Candace's behavior and listening to every word and some other things that I cannot discuss here. I can't put all my work out, but I work in the background on Summer's case. So everybody keep Summer in your prayers, and hopefully she'll be found soon and the world will get justice for her, because she was an innocent 5-year-old that didn't deserve any of this. Well, let me know what you think down below. I'm waiting to hear from you all.